Hello, in this tutorial I shall show how to export an animated object from Maya and then import it into Unity. Here we are in Maya. Let us create, for example, a sphere. And let us make a simple animation about this sphere. Let us simply translate. Now we can move it a little to the left. We can put a keyframe here. This is a tutorial about Unity, not about Maya, so I am doing it fast in Maya just to illustrate. I made a keyframe here. Now I move the time slider, for example, to 24. This is something less than a second. Oops. I can move the sphere to the right and make another keyframe. So this is the very simple animation in Maya. Now we shall export it to Unity. It is possible just to save this in the ASCII MA format and then the Unity reads it. This works nice, but for more complicated for more complicated scenes, I suggest that you export rather in FBX format and then import it in Unity in FBX format, because I have a feeling that this way more complicated scenes load much faster. So we shall use the FBX. Now we have only one object, but the first thing I do is always select hierarchy, so that if we have, in case we have more complicated object, we export all objects we want to. Then we put export selection, and here appears already the export dialog. We choose the FBX, here FBX export, and we write a name, for example sphere Maya. So, and let us examine a little the parameters. Now there is no animation here clicked, but we have the animation, so we click it. We select that we export also the animation. The range of the animation is from 1 to 48. We made only to 24. We can put this then 24 frames. And if we had deformed models, then we would export also the parameters about the animation of the deformed models. We can leave this just as it is. I shall show in the next tutorial how to export. It's basically just the same procedure. For example, a sphere that has been changed with blend shape, as it's called in Maya, or morphing, as it's called in many other programs. The other parameters we can leave default. Then we export selection, and we can quit Maya. We don't need to save this. Yeah. Now we can have a look. So Maya doesn't want to exit. Now I hit exit. Okay. Let's have a look where this is located. It is located in my scenes folder of Maya, and I think it was named sphere. Let us look. Sphere. Yes, here it is, sphere Maya FBX. Now we simply move this into our folder where we have our Unity project. It is possible that Unity works at the same time, but I suggest you quit Unity first and then move the file and then start the Unity once again. It is a much cleaner process and better. Sometimes Unity does not want to shut down, and so on. This is then better to do it like this. I think I have here this is our project. this, and here we is assets folder. We always copy into the assets folder, and then you can make your own folders in the assets if you want to make it more hierarchical, but we don't need to do this because we have a very simple project. So we find again our sphere, it is here, and move it, I shall move it to the assets folder. We could of course also save directly into the assets folder that we from Maya. Now we launch Unity. And we already see, yes, it is here, Sphere Maya. We click, this is the project for the project folder, and we click on the imported object Sphere Maya. And on the right in the inspector, we have the data which we have to adapt for our needs. First, we have the model, then we have the rig menu and animation menu. Let us start with the model menu. What is very important is here the scale factor. It is now 1% of the normal scale. For example, you can model in Maya a terrain in the same scale as a man or woman in the same scale. This is practical because you should keep to a reasonable scale in Maya. On the other hand, if you are making a computer game, then a terrain is of course much larger than a person. So let us put here, for example, 10 or 10. So this is good if the models are reasonably large in Maya, as you normally do it. Then I found that the number 10 is quite okay for Unity. If you give too small number, if models are too small, then sometimes you have problems with the Unity camera. It is undefined, or it's difficult to work with. So take care that the models are always big enough. Then the next here it's the other parameters here we can leave as they are, and we click apply. If we do not click apply, the program will remind us about this. Now we go to the next menu. This is rig, and here it is very important, instead of generic we select legacy. This is because of animation. If we don't have an animated object, just a sphere without animation, then we can leave rig as it is. And we also click apply. The last menu is the animation menu. What is here important is if we want to repeat, because it was a short animation sometimes, or I would say very often, we want to repeat the animation so that we see it not only once but several times, and we can check if it is okay. Therefore we can change the wrap mode instead of default, which means it runs only once and then stops, which we change it to loop. If we set ping pong, then it loops to the end and then backwards, and again forwards, in front and backwards, and so. Loop is that it goes to the end and then starts at the beginning once again. Once, and default is, as far as I know, the same. So let us choose loop. This is the name of the animation. We can leave it as it is, or we can change the name. Now let us leave it as it is. Let's just click apply. Now we are ready to put the model on the scene. This is the sphere Maya, and we just drag it on the scene, and we don't see anything. Maybe we should press the F button on the keyboard to focus on this object, and it is really here. But let us check what is about the camera. The camera is here, the object is here, it is reasonably large. We can move camera a little away. Then let us select once again the camera a little down, and maybe so that it is more or less in the middle. And now let us have a look how it looks like. Yes, it is moving. One should adjust now the angle of the camera so that it looks nicely. And you have probably noticed that the sphere is black. This is because we don't have any front light. We should adjust, for example, we should take yes, game object, create other directional light. So, and see how it is working. I was telling you before that it's very wise to parent directional light with camera. The camera here has already changed the positions. This was bad, and the directional light is also looking. So now we don't. I don't want to do it because it will be too much work. Let's just have a look. Yes, now it looks much better. So let us start once again. Yes, it is much better. We can also look at the animation window, and if we click on the sphere Maya, we get the animation, and we can run with a little, yes, with a little. So you see now the animation is running also in the scene window, not only in the game window. Let's stop it. Now, this is then just the case of adjustment. If I put the camera on the other side and rotate it, I was pressing now the button E, which is for rotation. Now I see it from the other side, because I would like to see it the same way as it was rotated. This was moving in Maya from left to right. The camera was not on the right side. And the directional light should also be rotated. So that and now let's have a look again. Yes, now it's more or. So that was it for the import of the FBX file into the Unity. Instead of Maya, you can use any program that exports FBX, and Unity imports also other file formats. We shall then cover some other programs too, from which you can export to Unity. And the thing is not just to export a sphere, but to make a more complicated model in some other modeling program and animation program, and then export it to Unity. This is the point. Thank you very much.